Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I hope so. In today's lesson, we are going to take a look at something many of us do, especially when annoyed or angry. An action that allows you to effectively express your frustration and rage towards yourself or another person through speech and the written word. It is also an action that can cause great offence and create outrage among those who've heard or read it. Right here, right now, we are going to see just how powerful those naughty words really are, because in this lesson we are going to talk all about swearing and bad language. The word swear has more than one meaning. It can refer to the giving of an oath or promise. You swear your allegiance or loyalty. You make an oath by swearing it. To swear is to commit to something and agree to follow it. To promise to tell the truth can be described as swearing. You swear to tell the truth. I swear it is true. You can be sworn in. This is the process of taking up an official position and making a promise to carry out your duties well while in the job. You are sworn into office. Then there is the definition of swear that we are going to focus on today. To swear and use bad language. If you swear at someone, then you are directing bad words towards a person. You are swearing at them. You might swear out loud to a group of people. Swearing can be expressed by the spoken or written word. You might swear to yourself out of frustration or anger. Some people use bad language occasionally, while others use it all the time. A swear word can be described in many ways. For example, it can be called a curse word, an expletive, a profane word, or profanity. A curse word. To use bad language and swearing can be described as potty talk. A person who uses bad language might be described as having a potty mouth. Potty meaning toilet. Hey, we'll have less of your potty mouth, thank you. To swear continually while talking can be described as turning the air blue. His abusive language turned the air in the room blue. The action of shouting and swearing out loud for everyone to hear can be described as mouthing off. He just stood there mouthing off at his teacher. On the surface, it would seem as if swearing is a recent thing, but in fact, the use of curse words has been around for hundreds of years. Some words in use today originated in Latinate, and some were formed during the Middle Ages, when the words themselves were not seen as offensive. Most swear words revolve around two themes: religion and bodily functions. The religious context brings forth the things that should not be done. Some might say that rude words help to highlight these forbidden things. Early swear words and phrases normally used religious figures and events as their theme. These were the worst things a person could say back then. It would be fair to say that over the years, this sensitivity has largely subsided. However, there are still cultures in existence today who see these religious curse words as offensive and blasphemous. Bodily function swear words, such as those to do with going to the toilet, began to be used around the same time when people started to have a better standard of living. Privacy became more of a social norm, and with it came modesty and prudishness. The body and its various natural functions became taboo and unmentionable. This was because during the time when people lived together in cramped conditions, there was little privacy. So activities such as going to the toilet and getting dressed were done in front of others. People did not object to these things as they saw them as normal and commonplace. As people began to enjoy their privacy, so they began to protect their dignity. The body became a thing that must be hidden away. Improvements in sanitation meant that people went to the toilet in private. So the words that were used to describe these actions became more and more unacceptable. Even today, most of the swear words in existence relate to bodily functions and intimate physical contact. Although swearing is seen as generally bad, there are certain levels of swearing that are viewed as acceptable. A good example of an acceptable swear word is bloody. In English, the word bloody is used a lot. There is no clear explanation of how this word came to be, but one theory is that its origins lie in religion, with something that Christian worshippers saw as sacred. There are other theories as to how bloody became a swear word, but nothing conclusive. In its non-offensive definition, bloody means to be covered in blood, or a large amount of blood in one place. These days, bloody is not seen as offensive. It occurs as a swear word in many places, including the Harry Potter films, which are essentially aimed at children. Another swear word that is seen as being tame is ass, or as we pronounce it here in England, arse. The ass or arse is another word for your buttocks or bum. But the word itself can be used in many ways. You can arse around, which means to act stupidly and waste time. If you don't feel like doing something, then you can say, I can't be arsed. A person who acts stupidly or is seen as a fool can be described as an arse. Then there is asshole or arsehole. This is a crude word for the anus, the part of the body where your poop comes out. The meaning is similar in both British and American English. A foolish or stupid person. I can't believe he did that. What an arsehole. Don't listen to him. He's an asshole. If you swear at someone, then you cuss and curse at them. You are cussing them. The swear words used can be described as abuse or abusive language. You are verbally abusing someone. The language used is strong. If a movie or song contains swearing, then a warning might be posted or printed nearby to let you know that bad language is contained within it. Many television stations will not allow swearing to be broadcast until after a certain time of day. Here in the UK, this time is 9 p.m. It is described as the watershed. By this definition, we are saying that the watershed is a point where something changes. So after 9 p.m, the programmes transmitted may not be suitable for children. These programmes may contain references to sex, violence, and, of course, the use of bad language. As I have already mentioned, not all swear words are terrible. If a swear word is seen as acceptable, then we might describe it as mild swearing or mild language. If the swear words are seen as being offensive and very rude, then we might describe them as strong language or simply coarse. A person who swears a lot might be labelled as a foul mouth. They are foul-mouthed. The problem with using swear words is that what might be acceptable to one person may be offensive to another. The general rule is, if in doubt, leave the swearing out. Some people who swear find themselves wishing that they did not. They regret using bad language. Some people will try to stop themselves from swearing by having a swear jar. This is a jar in which money must be placed every time a swear word is used. If you swear, then some money must be placed in the jar as penance. Of course, this may not cure the swearing, but it is still a good way of saving up money for that holiday or new car. Of course, there are places where and times when you must never use bad language. For instance, in a place of worship or a sacred place. In a social situation where swearing would make your character look bad or unsavoury, such as during a job interview or when making out an application for a job vacancy. When you are with one or more relatives, especially ones that are very young or elderly, you wouldn't say in front of your grandmother or tell your 6-year-old niece to f*** off, would you? Would you? I'm pretty sure you wouldn't. If a person objects to your use of bad language and swearing, they might give you a warning in the form of a sentence. If you swear again, I will wash your mouth out with soap and water. Hey, watch your mouth and mind your language. Do you kiss your mother with that mouth? We can tell someone to mind their P's and Q's. This means that they must be careful and pay attention to their language and consider their words carefully before speaking. It is possible to swear and not offend anyone. You can use substitute swear words instead of the real ones. For example, instead of saying, you can say sugar. Oh, sugar. Instead of bloody, you can use ruddy. What a ruddy waste of time. Instead of you can use fudge. Oh, fudge it. Oh, fudge. Other substitute words include bother, darn, fiddlesticks, flip, blooming, drat, and poo. They say that most bad swear words in English have only 4 letters. Indeed, swear words are often referred to as 4-letter words. Of course, this is not completely true. While there are a few that only consist of 4 letters, there are also just as many that contain more. Swear words are used in anger and as a way of expressing frustration and hate. They serve as an outlet for those uncontrollable emotions that we are all prone to feeling. Some shout, some break objects, some scream, and some cry, and some swear. There are those who strongly object to swearing and bad language. But despite this pressure, it would seem that swearing is going to be a part of our social interaction for a long time to come.
Do you ever swear, Mr. Duncan?
I have to be honest now and admit that sometimes I do let the occasional swear word out. Sometimes I do cuss and curse. I normally swear in response to something that has angered or frustrated me. If I hurt myself, I might let out a mild swear word. I do not swear all the time, though. In my normal day-to-day life, I rarely swear. In fact, making this lesson has caused me to swear much more than I usually would. Normally, if I swear, there is quite often a good reason for it. Sometimes a swear word or bad language is present in, say, a movie that is being shown on TV, or music that is being played on the radio. When this happens, quite often the offending words are removed or covered up. The swear words are censored. We can say that they have been beep, bleeped out. To bleep something means that the offending words have been censored. Quite often the sound used to cover the words up is a bleep, hence the name of the action. In movie editing, there may be times when a swear word is redubbed. The bad word is replaced with one that is less offensive. We can even disguise a swear word when it appears in text. Symbols are used to replace parts of the swear word. You can still guess what the word is, but its initial visual impact is reduced. Some of you might be wondering why I would make a lesson about swearing, and you would be right to question it. Whether we like it or not, swearing is a part of both writing and speech. It is used widely in books and in movies and in modern music. Even here on YouTube, swear words are often used. There is no escaping the fact that profanity, like sex and violence, is part of the modern expressive world. To pretend that bad language does not exist is to bury your head in the sand. Many people swear. Some do it out loud, while others do it to themselves, in secret. Almost all languages have swear words in them somewhere. They add colour and expression to sentences in a way that allows the speaker to have the desired effect and get the desired attention. They may not always be acceptable, but they do exist and are used. So this lesson has been made to show rather than encourage, to explain rather than persuade. There are times when swearing is unacceptable, and times when, to the individual, it seems appropriate. The bottom line is, some people swear and some don't. Are you still watching? Did you stay with me right to the end? Look at my swear jar. It's almost full. That is all from me for today. I will be back soon with another lesson, minus the bad language, very soon. Until then, this is Mr. Duncan in England, saying thank you for watching me, teaching you. Don't forget to choose your words carefully and mind your P's and Q's. I will see you all later. And of course, ta-ta for now.